This is the oncoming storm. Welcome back. It's time to look at another clan. So we've come to a fireside, and let's open up our codex. We've done the Sally Horn. It's time for the Karg, just as already been requested. So here we go. I like to point out at the front of these videos where I think that the overall role lies in our game. And right now, the warrior's role is very weak. It doesn't compare with the mages for damage. And that's really what it comes right down to. We're in the mage meta. So, that being said, how is a Karg? At the start of the game, the Kargs, both the male and female, they hit fairly hard. But here's the problem. They're turning into dragons. It just doesn't work out as well as it should. They seem to give off this weird yell before they transform that causes everything in the area to go, hey, look, let's hit them. And then 8 times out of 10, even at the lower levels, they never actually transform. Which means that their ultimate, and you'll hear me complain about this with more than one class, their ultimate is too slow. Why does Aeson and Ignis end up at the top? Because when their ultimate goes off, it fires. There's no stall, there's no dance, there's no playing around. There's simply, it fires. So, the Kargs are slow to fire their ultimates, both of them. And they don't have the health to stand up to being frontline fighters. So they end up dead. Doesn't matter how much damage you can dish out if you're dead. Because you're doing exactly 0 damage laying on the ground. You pull a mythic Karg, maybe you can build them early game to have enough survivability to help you for a while. But the truth is, I would put all of the Kargs, male and female, as a bottom tier. Yes, you might be able to put together the male Karg with an Ignis and help them have some burning. Where is that? Oh, here it is. He launches his first skill, where he launches a fireball towards the enemy with the lowest health. The fireball explodes, giving a % of the caster's strength to the target and nearby enemies, and inflicts burning for 10 seconds. Well, that's an AoE burn. And matched up with the female Ignis, that means a whole lot more damage. But you could just as effectively put Pyromancer on one of your AoE mages and have the same effect. I would consider this a low tier reason to consider it. His strength goes up 90% with normal attacks. Of course, that means he has to survive to give off 30 normal attacks. And all of that brings us to, he becomes a dragon. But like I said, he's dealing damage to all of the enemies in the target area as he transforms. It's like, okay, well, and when they roar, they seem to get everybody's attention, and then they're just dead. Female Karg. She summons a wreath of flame around her for that lasts 5 seconds. Deals damage to equal to 170% of her strength per second. This is a drain type ability. It's not really burst. And the problem with this drain type ability is it causes everybody to look at her, because she's hitting all of them and saying, come hit me, come hit me. And she doesn't have the health to survive it. See, they ought to be good, because both of them have their second skill increases the caster's strength. There ought to be room for them to be good. But the fact is, they don't have they lack the survivability to be able to become great. Their strength is increased 15%. They're powerful. They do AoE knockbacks. All of this is great if they can get into their dragon form. But as things stand, there is too much hate. There, too much fast damage. Too many AoE ultimates to compete, for these guys to compete. So once you get to the point where a male Aesin's AoE can take off half of the team's damage or health, once you've gotten high enough that the AoE mages become effective. Now, please note, that is mid-game or higher. AoE mages at the beginning of the game feel weak. But once you get to the point where they are strong, the Kargs, who are glass cannon warriors, see, that's a terrible thing to say. Okay, I'm going to make you a glass cannon that can take very little damage and put you on the front line. If you're gonna put something that's going to have low health that can dish a lot of damage, it's better if you can put them on the back line. Why is the AoE mage meta coming to be? Because that is always true. You don't want your glass cannons put up so that somebody can shatter them. And that's the problem with the Kargs. Are they a bad class? There is room in their design for them to become good. But they would need... Fortitude would have to work better. They would have to have more health. There's just... And they would have to survive. And right now, I just can't see a path that brings them above C tier at best. And they probably belong in D tier. They are not great. I'm sorry for anybody who likes the Kargs. I like their animation too. I wanted them to be good. But the fact is, they just don't compare with the other options that are available. This has been The Oncoming Storm. You have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.